Hi everyone, this is Katie Carnes and welcome to this month's tech tip. This month we really wanted to highlight just some video editing tools that you have right at your disposal. And I'm going to be talking about two tools actually. Today I'm going to be talking about the photo editor on Windows 10. So if you're using a Windows device or Windows 10, then this demo is for you. And this is just going to show you how you can use the Photos app, which is built in and comes standard, um, how to edit videos. So hopefully you've been encouraged to create your own videos with some of the other sessions that we've had through CC. But this can just help you with any time you want to edit videos, and you don't need expensive, complicated video software. This is all free and it comes standard with your devices. So like I said, today I'm going to be talking about the photo editor tool. So let's go ahead and just get started. Alright, so I'm just going to type into this search button here, photos. And as you can see, photos pops right up. So it's already on my device. I don't need to download anything. It's already there. It's not maybe the first place you might look for a video editing tool because it's called Photos. So, but it is hidden inside there. Alright, so this screen opens up and it's got all of my different photos and videos from the past. But I'm going to go to Video Projects. And it says right here, create a new video project. So I'm just going to plus sign and add my different clips in. Alright, so I'm going to use, just for example's sake, a couple of clips that I used when I was doing an iMovie presentation. So I did that iMovie presentation on Lunar New Year. So I'm just going to type that in, press OK, and now I have my project, but now I need to add my videos. So I'm going to go in and find my clips and say add photos and videos from this PC. Alright, so they're saved on my desktop. I'm going to find the folder that I'm thinking of, and I already named these clips part 1, part 2, and part 3, so I would know which succession that they went into. So I'm going to go ahead and add those and open. Alright, one thing that I don't necessarily like about the Photos app is I did name those on purpose a certain way so that I would know how they went, and they put them in order, the order that they are supposed to go in, but also it would be nice to be able to still see the name of the clip. So but to work around that, you can just roll your mouse over whatever you need to, and it will tell, or the clip that you need, and it will say part 1 on that first clip, and then part 2, so it'll pop up when you scroll your mouse over. Alright, so the next thing is I know what order I want them in, so I'm going to go ahead and drag them down. So they're in my project library. That doesn't mean that they are in the video process yet, or on the storyboard yet. So they're just in the library for you to use. So now, in order to start making my video, I'm going to drag that part 1 down to the storyboard. And then I'm also going to do part 2 and part 3. So that is the succession that they go in, and if you needed to, if that's all that you needed to do, you could export it right then and there and be done. But there's kind of some tweaking that I want to do. I want to trim the ends on all of my clips, and also just kind of make it a little bit more interesting. Alright, so this first video clip, I'm going to go ahead and open it up, or click on it, and then I'm going to press trim. Alright, so I know that there was a pause at the beginning and the end of this video. So I know I want the video to start whenever I start talking. So I can kind of just scroll, I take a breath, which is what I usually do before I start a video. So that's kind of where I start, is when I wave. So I'm going to give it a little bit. I'm not going to do it when my eyes are closed, but I'm going to give it a little bit of breathing room and leave it off there. And then I'm also going to trim the end. So as you can see, as I'm scrubbing these bars, it will show you what point of the video that you're in. So see, I'm kind of working a little backwards here. So here I'm talking, and then I stop talking right around here. And just give it a little bit of breathing room because I don't want it to be too choppy. So you don't want to end it right when you stop talking. So just give it a little bit of breathing room. Okay, so that's about 10 seconds, and that should be all good. So now I'm actually going to move my window. You know what, I'm going to get rid of me just for a little bit, just so you can see the screen fully, because I think that my webcam is hiding some of those buttons. Alright, So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to press done. All right, so now that clip is shorter. We trimmed off all the dead bits, and then I'm going to trim this one as well. So in this part of the video, all I really need is I kind of just open the Google window and I start typing in. So I type in what is the Chinese zodiac sign for 2019. So I'm going to start this clip kind of around the time that I start typing. All right, and then I leave a little bit of wiggle room at the end. And the result was the pig, so that's the Chinese zodiac of 2019, by the way. And I've got a little bit of breathing room. It shouldn't really take that long. Let's see if it'll go. There we go. So it really just needs to be real short. And you can also test to see what the video, what your clip looks like by just clicking play, and it will start there for you. You can also bring it back to the top of this. And there you go. All right, so I'm gonna click done, and that clip is shorter. And now I'm gonna trim this one as well. So just real quick and easy. This is when I start talking, so I'm gonna give it a little bit of breathing room and scoot back and then drag this until I finish talking. So I give a little wave and I'm done. So in this video clip, I actually have, and we'll talk about this a little later, but I have a moment where I point up, and that's where I'm going to add a 3D effect. So you'll get to see that here in just a second. So let me drag that back to the playhead and press play. 2019 is the year of the pig. Thanks for watching. Bye. All right, so that looks good to me, and I'm going to press done. All right, so I'm going to go back to this clip here, and one thing you can do, I wish that you were able to do this a little bit better. I wish that I could crop the screen so that there's not a bunch of the white space on the side, or the desktop on the side. I wish I could just crop it so you could only see the window of Chrome. Fortunately, you can't do that, but if you wanted to, one thing you could do would be to resize. You could shrink to fit or remove black bars. That doesn't really apply here, so I'm just going to see what happens whenever I add motion. So you could zoom in center. You could add that effect. So I'll just show you a little bit of what that looks like. Oh, I added zoom out. So actually I want to zoom in. So you can kind of see that effect slowly happening. It's zooming in and out. This is kind of designed more for slideshows or something along those lines. It just adds, it's called a Ken Burns effect. So you can use this if you want to zoom in a little bit more, but you don't really have that much control of it, which is a shame, but it's still, that feature is available for you. All right, so on this video clip, there's a lot of typing, and you can hear the typing in the audio, and it's just kind of annoying and loud. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come to these volume buttons, and they're automatically by default all the way turned up. And so I'm just going to turn this one all the way down because the typing in this video is just a little bit annoying. So that's how you can adjust the audio or the volume of a clip. Unfortunately, you can't detach the audio, but you can adjust the volume if you need to. All right, so let's see. So now I'm going to show you some of the 3D effects, and this is where things can get a little bit more fun. So I'm going to come to this clip here and click on 3D effects. All right, so like I mentioned in this video, there's a part in this video where I say that the Chinese zodiac sign of 2019 is the pig, so it's the year of the pig. And you can see that my hand points up, and that's where I want the pig graphic to go. So what I'm going to do is I'll just kind of leave that there for now. And I'm going to go to the 3D library, and I'm going to search 3D models, and I'm just going to type in pig. And we'll see what comes up. All right, so you get lots of different options. So there's many different things that you can use, and these are all free to use. So I'm just going to choose one, and I'm just going to choose this one here. So I'll just click on this, add it in. And this will pop up if you want it to, this will pop up if you're not signed in. You don't have to. You can just press cancel if you need to. And I'm just going to double click on that actually and get that going. All right, so now I have my 3D model, and you can change the direction that it's looking. You can spin it around if you want. So you can change it however you want. You can make it bigger or smaller. But I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. All right, so you can also add any quick animations that you want to. So there's different ones. It can hop, it can hover, it can zoom around, it can swing, all this other stuff. But what I want to use today is this tool. It's an anchor tool or a pin tool. If you've used this feature on Instagram or Instagram stories, they have this feature as well where you can pin an object to another moving object, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to turn this feature on. So it's going to take a second. So they're going to attach the effect, and here's the little anchor here. But I actually want this to be right when my hand goes up. So there's my hand. So I'm going to take this anchor and I'm going to attach it to my hand. And now let's see how that looks. So as my hand comes up,
is the year of the
so
pig.
does the pig.
Thanks for watching.
Now I want to get rid of it whenever my hand starts waving, because that's when it goes a little bit haywire. So I'm just going to scroll this back a little bit and use this playhead to figure out right when I start waving my hand. So it's kind of right around here. So I'm just going to drag this over, and that should delete right around the time that I start waving my hand. Let's see if that worked. And I'll press play.
Is the year of the pig. Thanks for watching. Bye.
So there you go. I think that looks pretty good. I'm not going to add any animation for right now, just because I think it looks pretty good, but these are available to you. So if you have something that you want to use, you can. So all right, I'm going to press done. And actually, I'm going to go back into that really quick and show you a little bit more about the 3D effects, because there's other things that you can use. Some of the effects, you can have a breaking news signal, you can have balloons, you can have bubbles, a confetti fountain. That one's really fun. We played around with that a little bit. Or an explosion. There's all these different ones that you can add to your video and just kind of make it a little bit more interesting and engaging if you want to. So these are just some of the ones that are under the effects library, but the 3D library is where you could add in some of these images or these 3D images. So that's just something a little bit fun. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my video. Let's see. I'll press done. All right, so now I'm back to my storyboard, and my video looks good so far. It's about 26 minutes long. That's great. 26 seconds long. That's a good amount of time for what I need to achieve. But I've got about 4 minutes. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a title, so an intro. So I'm just going to right-click on the first clip, and I'm going to say add a title card. So this is where you can add in a title page if you need to, or if you need just to have a text or a slide with text, you can do any of that as well. So I'm going to come around here and change the background, and I'm just going to choose blue is always a good color. So you can also do a custom color, I think, so you can choose whichever one you want and just slide that slider around, but I think I'm just going to stick with blue. All right, so now I've got the blue color, but now I'm going to add text. And you don't have a lot of control over how you want your text to look, but a lot of these options are just fine. So I'm just going to type in Lunar New Year. And this is where you can change the text style. So you can just come down here if there's one that you really like. You can choose that, or you can just keep it classic. This is also where you change the layout. So if there's a different area on the screen that you want it to go, you can adjust it there. So I like the look of that. Just keep it simple, and it's about 3 seconds long. I'm going to press done. I think I'd like for it to be about 4 seconds long, so I'm going to come up here. While it's selected, I'm going to press duration. And I'm going to change it to 4 seconds. There we go. All right, so let me just do a quick little preview of this video.
Hi, my name is Katie Carnes, and Tuesday, February the 5th was Chinese New Year. Let's see what this year's Chinese zodiac sign is. "2019 is the year of the pig." Thanks for watching. Bye!
All right, so I think that looks good to me, and I'm ready to export. So that took hardly any time at all for me to piece all that together. And really what they have available is good for if you want to make a simple, easy, effective video. So I just come up here to export or share, and you either do a small, medium, a large. I'm just going to do a large just because I feel like it's always just a little bit better, and it's just going to export the video for me. And it's going to put it into a movies folder. It'll tell you at the end. I do wish that they did allow you to choose a folder before it exported, but you can always move it after it's done. So as you can see, it says this is where we saved it, and you can just, if you want to change where it goes, you can do View and File Explorer, and you can just drag it to wherever you want it to go. So if I wanted it to go to my desktop, I could have it there. That's all I have for you today, and that is the photo editor tool. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. I'll have the contact screen on the next page here in a second, and we'd be happy to help you in any way that you need. So let us know if you have a project that you want to get started and you just need help getting your feet wet, then be sure to contact me or contact Cece, and we'll see you next month for next month's tech tip. Thanks.